Uplifting Leaders podcast, where we're unleashing leader possibilities to make a better world. I'm Tricia Ryan, and together with Crystal Roberts, we're diving deeper into some of the complexities of the world's most critical challenges and exploring innovative ways of navigating through them.
Through interviews with experts and leaders just like you, we are exploring what it takes to thrive as a leader today and examining new ways of thinking about how to creatively lead into a more equitable, socially responsible, and sustainable future. And the future starts now.
Hi, Crystal. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We are coming to the end of our year pretty soon.
I know.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
And we've got some people here today.
We have some fabulous guests. I'm very excited to talk with them today.
But before we talk to them, how was your Thanksgiving?
I had a great Thanksgiving.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
We had friends and family, and it was a really good time. Yeah. Good food, good people.
Great food.
Yeah.
Great food, great people. It was wonderful. Oh, that's right. I was at your house, huh? No.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's so great right now. The weather is, all of our leaves are pretty much changed.
They're pretty much off the trees is what I would say.
I'm disappointed that
we're moving into winter.
That there were no red leaves on my street, only yellow, but I'll live with it.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
Next year I want red leaves though. It's just been a great fall, but I'm ready for winter.
Yeah.
I'm really ready for it. So we're just right around the corner.
Yeah.
So you ready to have this wonderful chat today?
I'm very excited
with
about
one
it.
of our favorite people.
I know.
Oh my gosh. And we get the couple, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about one of them, and you're going to tell me about the other one.
Yeah.
Okay. So just for our listeners, we are so blessed today. We've got Robert LaSelle Chism, who is our favorite Northwest photographer. In fact, he's not just known here in the Northwest. He's getting kind of worldwide notoriety, and we are thrilled. We're so thrilled. We kind of got to talk to him when he was on the other side of his fame, just starting, I think, really. But yeah, now he's an old hat at this. It's wonderful. And we get his wonderful wife's son. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Robert. He is a Washington State-based photographer. As an award-winning artist, his work has been featured in numerous media publications locally and nationwide, and now internationally. From gallery shows to public displays, his work has gained a reputation for its originality. With the bold use of color, attention to detail, and creative resolve, Robert has the unique ability to create iconic images that are sure to catch your eye, and they really do. They're beautiful.
They absolutely do. In fact, we have a beautiful one of Mount Rainier in our living room.
Yes.
And I get the privilege of introducing his partner, Sun So. Sun is an HR professional with 25 plus years of experience in local city government here in the Pacific Northwest. She continues to find public service both meaningful and fulfilling, even with its challenges. We know that with HR, that is for sure. In her free time, Sun enjoys outings and travels with her husband, especially exploring the beautiful Pacific Northwest mountains and beaches, dining experiences, concerts, and time spent with friends and family. She has a green thumb for indoor plants and a recent passion around caring for community cats. And I'm like, what? Community cats. We got to hear about that.
Yes.
Welcome to the podcast, Sun and Robert.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
We're really grateful to have you here. We've been wanting this for quite a while, so it's a wonderful wrap to our year.
Yeah.
We've got one more episode.
One more episode.
And then we are done, but that's just our wrap to the year. You are our last guests.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So we are going to hear more about this community cat thing, right?
Yes.
We usually begin almost every single interview with the question of tell us your story. And although you've been here before, Robert, I think maybe it would be cool if the two of you could tell us your story together.
Awesome. Okay. So basically just starting out around this whole photography and everything that has to do with creativity. I started, say, probably in high school. I was into art quite a bit and did a lot of like drawings and things like that. And I had aspired to be an art teacher and do my art on the side. And as life got going and things happened, kind of got away from that dream and kind of just got into the workforce and went to work in aerospace and pretty much forgot about my creativity side. And in 2010, son and I reconnected. We were high school sweethearts, junior high school. And during that time we reconnected, I was so excited to tell her, how I got on my job and how much vacation I had and, where I had moved up on the ladder at my job. And she said, hey, that's really cool. I'm happy for you, but, what have you done with your creativity? Like I always knew you were an artist. And I didn't really have anything to say. I was like, well, I work now. And, and she's like, well, maybe you want to, get back in that balance of life. And at that time I was like, well, yeah, okay, maybe, but I didn't really, think about it too much. But it did kind of come up later, kind of as we reconnected.
So we reconnected back in 2010, and just because we were out of touch with each other for probably 20 plus years.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so, good old Facebook. I was very hesitant to get on Facebook. And a friend of mine who was traveling with her sister all over Europe said, hey, I'm posting on Facebook. So if you want to see pictures, I'm going to create your account for you. And I'm like, okay. So for, I would say, probably for like 4 years, I had maybe less than a dozen friends on Facebook because and plus being in the field that I'm in human resources. So social media was kind of still, people were trying to figure it out. And, and I just didn't want to be out there and, people don't have filters and stuff that's not, I always worry about offending someone, So I was just very leery, and it's like, my friends, if I want to know about my friends, I'm going to pick up the phone, I'm going to meet with them. This Facebook, social media was so foreign to me. It just didn't feel personable, right? And so I'm a very personal person. So I like a one-on-one, or I want to be able to see that person, live versus with technologies, which technology is great. Zoom, it has connected or allow for people to be able to communicate with people from all around the country, right? In across, the entire world. So it does have great benefits, but then you kind of lose that personable, feeling, It's like you can't hug that person, through a video. So, that's the thing. So, but I did find him, and that was one of the best things about, being on Facebook is reconnecting with people that you lost contact with. So
So how long have you been together now?
got together, started dating in 2014, and that's history. Now we're here. He was my first boyfriend. He was the love of my life. Actually, we have known each other since we're 12. So we, I wasn't really into boys because I was more of a tomboy. So it took friends of us to tell us, saying, why don't you guys start dating? I went, what do you mean? He's my friend. He's my best friend. I can't date my best friend, So I was a late bloomer. With Robert being very shy, and he's more introverted, so he wasn't going to make the first move, and here I am like, this is kind of weird. Even the 20 years that we've lost contact with, I always tell him, that when I go to an art gallery, or if I see something so cool, he's in the back of my mind saying, gosh, this would be great, because Robert was an amazing artist. He did a lot of pencil sketches and stuff like that, color pencil. I'm like, oh my gosh, if he saw this, what would his interpretation would be? And so it's like when I told him of all the stuff I saw, all the galleries I went to, art shows, festivals, you name it. And he goes, oh, I wish I was there. I go, you were there. I was seeing it for both of us, the experiences.
Sweet.
So when we got back together, I said, hey, you got to get off the couch. I said, or you're going to be left behind, because I go during the week, I work hard, I work long hours. My job it can be stressful. My free time, I am going to be out and about. I love exploring the Pacific Northwest. Our backyard is amazing. I love, meeting new people. I love experiencing new cultures. just to be out and about, getting off the grid. I said, you could join me. If you don't, you'll be left behind. So, so he was like,
Ultimatum.
okay. So,
Yeah, I took that as a challenge.
Good thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
And from there, what my question is about your journey into professional landscape photography. And my understanding is it began with Son's encouragement. So can you share the story of how her support helped you gain the confidence to pursue this path? And Son, we'd love to hear your side of this story as well.
All right. So, right when we started traveling and going to check out all these places, and like I said, I took it as a challenge to go because I was more of a homebody. And so when I got that opportunity, we started going places. I had my phone, the camera I was using, and I was taking pictures. And she goes, I know you're not doing your art anymore, but she goes, I think you really have a good eye. And I thought she was just saying that because she's trying to, try to put something going, get me going, be excited about being creative. So I was like, maybe she just feels sorry for me. So I just kept doing it. She goes, well, she goes, man, I think you could take good pictures. And I go, okay, thank you. So was it like a week after we probably
our first date?
Yeah, our first like real date. She goes, hey, I got a gift for you. And I was like, oh. So I opened up and it was a nice Canon camera, full setup, everything. And I go, whoa, this is amazing. But at the same time, I was kind of intimidated by it because, I had to learn all this gear. So I'm just used to taking, a little quick picture with the phone. And so we went traveling a few times and I didn't take it out. I didn't use it. And she goes, hey, man, if you don't start using that camera, I'm going to just take it back. I go, okay, I'll start using it.
Or give it to someone that would appreciate it, and we'll put it to use. I think for me is, he's an artist. I mean, that's what I've known about him is that when he's most alive and passionate is when he sees something that's artistic or something he sees that is so out of the ordinary. Knowing him for so long, and sometimes, he'll do a pencil sketch. Sometimes that piece, he'll work on it for months, right? And sometimes years where he go back and, and he's really into layering, adding things, doing really into the details, right? And so it's like, is it done yet? And it's like, he goes, no, there's something missing. So I told him, I said, you know what, photography, you take the picture, it's immediate gratification. You do some little editing to bring out the colors. And I said, this might be your way of expressing yourself and not having to put as much time, right? Because it's immediate gratification. And plus we're traveling, we're doing stuff. So if you see something catches your eye, take a picture of it. And so that's how I think it really started, because I knew he had that eye. And I'm like, because I saw the photos that he was taking from his cell phone, and especially his black and white photos, or he would get a different perspective, like an angle. And I'd be like, this is the artist in you, because a lot of photographers, they take pictures because they're photographers, right? But because of his artistic background, he brings a different aspect to it. And so that's why when we meet people or his followers, right, on Facebook, they're gracious people. They will tell him that they will recognize his photo compared to other photographers, right? Because he has a style that's unique to his own. And that's, I said, because he's an artist, that's the background.
So, and I know I'm jumping in here off script a little bit, but when you brought that up, it made me think about our first interview, Robert, where you were talking about how people actually accuse you of photoshopping things into the picture. And just recently you posted a picture of, you said it was one of your favorites from Ruston Way with Mount Rainier, just like huge. And I thought it reminded me of that comment that you made. And do you mind, like, that's the kind of picture. I hope our listeners will go to his website and we'll do contact info at the end, but because it's so stunning. It's like, wow, I live here and I've never seen it like that. And can you just address that really quickly about, like, how do you see that, capture it, And what you have this sort of thing that you guys do together to prove that this was a real picture.
Yeah.
So the first thing I've learned since my last podcast interview is that AI has came on really strong
Oh yeah.
amongst Photoshop, right? And this, what it taught me was that doing video was one of the things now I kind of do to show like, hey, this is a real live video of where I'm at. This is what I see from the video standpoint. And then I kind of document a little bit about what I see or how this is where the vision I might have or how this might look in the end. So when it actually happens and I can come back and say, oh, this is where I was, this is kind of what it did. And then from there, I might crop the photo. I might bring it up closer, maybe a wide angle lens or a long focal lens. A lot of compression will bring that distance out. That's where you see that depth, like the mountains up, the compression of the lens will do that. But those are the kind of things that excite me. Like I'll do it and I'll take a normal picture and then maybe I'll crop it or bring it forward and I go, ooh, that's kind of like really get you. Like it makes me feel like maybe I'm right there, or what different things I'll do. But that, like you said, when people start looking at it, well, I haven't seen it like that before. It must be fake. Like you know, right away, that's their first thing. And I got used to that. And I am taking different angles and maybe some tricky shots. And I would probably figure some people, and when they land it, say, hey, this photo, can you tell me how you did it? Or this photo is, I've never seen it like that. Is this AI or whatever they ask, nicely, and I'll answer them. But sometimes, or a lot of times, people will just tell me, they'll tell me where I took it or what I did or what I didn't do. They'll let me know hey, that's AI, that's not, it's not real. And I go, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. So I usually don't answer. I don't use my energy for that.
Yeah.
But, it does happen quite often, a lot more now with the AI.
I can, as much as I would probably hate hearing that all the time, I can understand. And the reason is, to your point, son, you have an eye that is different. And when I look at photos, I actually follow a couple of other photographers for a reason, because I like to look at your photos and then I look at other people's photos and I look at their galleries. And if there's a photo that they've captured of Mount Rainier, it's different every time. It's like, it's not as, there's not a spark. There's some kind of spark to your stuff. That's why we love your photography. And that's one reason, it's you. It speaks to your heart, I think, and son, to yours as well, because I know you go with him on a lot of these shoots. And
every shoot.
Okay, a lot of these shoots. Yeah. But it's like, I know a Robert Chism photo. I mean, if I go online and it didn't say it, I would know it was your photo, because you have a style that is just unique. And so I want the world to hear this, because I think the world you need more exposure. I have some ideas for you, by the way, after this podcast.
Well, I'll just throw one more little comment, because it goes along with this, is that the picture that I ended up buying was the one that when you look at it, you think, how is that even possible? And it's the Mount Rainier, and it's kind of, you see the flowers and stuff, and there's a lot of pink. And you told me that it was actually taken during the fires, and so it had to do with the light. I'm probably not explaining this right. You might have to explain it, but that's what gave it the color, was because it was the sun
pollution from the smoke, right? From
the smoke.
Yep.
Yeah, the vibrancy. It's the smoke causes amazing vibrancy. That's why when you look, and during the summer, if we have smoking days, especially wildfires that are coming from Canada, the sun is actually orange. And you can actually look at the sun without being blinded. It's just so intense, the orange, but it's a more of a it's vibrant, but it doesn't hurt your eyes because of the smoke that causes the colors.
When you say that, son, it reminds me of when I was growing up in California, and California used to have a lot of air pollution. It's cleaned up a lot now, but when in the, let's say, the 70s, there was a ton of air pollution in Southern California, and they had the most beautiful sunsets. Every night was a gorgeous sunset. It was pink and orange and just beautiful. And people would sit out in their yards and look at the sunset and say, look where we live. And I was thinking, yeah, we're going to be like, our lungs are going to be worth cottage cheese, but it's
that's
okay.
another
We
thing.
have a beautiful sunset, but it's true. It's that pollution sometimes, the filter that it creates that gives you
does.
something. But
Amazing.
yeah, it's amazing. So you two work together to capture some of the Northwest's most iconic landscapes, and it's true. What does your creative partnership look like in practice, and how do your strengths complement each other in this field?
Okay, so normally when we go out together, we go to travel first. We're like, hey, well, let's just go somewhere. We're gonna head out. I'll use an example of going to the Snoqualmie Falls. So we're gonna go out to the falls and check it out that day. And we go up there, and we don't have anything really in mind. I don't have a vision for it or anything at the time. I just go, let's just go. So we go up there, and I see maybe something. I start looking at. I'm like, okay, I like this. I'm gonna take a few shots, and I do. And I think maybe there's something I got. And I'm like, yeah, I have it. I'm not thinking anything else past that. And then Sun will come and she'll say, well, what'd you get? And I show her what I got. And she's like, okay, those look really nice. And then you go from there.
So there's sometimes, Robert is, of course, because he has the artist, he wants to see something unique, something different, right? So sometimes the sky is not dramatic enough. There's not enough cloud action or something. And it's just a pretty picture, right? A pretty photo, a pretty scene. And for me, I look at in an aspect of a tourist who has never been to Snoqualmie Falls, right? What do they want to see? Because the falls is amazing. It's beautiful. So that particular night, we met friends for like a late lunch, right? And so usually when we go up there, we are meeting someone, meeting friends for lunch, or we're going on a hike or something, and then we incorporate like, hey, okay, we're gonna take some photos. And it was a very beautiful. It was towards end of summer, and all of a sudden the sunset is going down, and all of a sudden the pinks start to form, and it's just there's no clouds really, but the color of the sky, and it was so peaceful, relaxing. I was like, this is beautiful, and I told Michael, can you just take a picture? He goes, oh, I already got my pictures.
I was like, I think I'm
he
good.
dismissed it, and I said, listen.
Get that camera out.
You please take the photo for me because I like it because this is what I want to see. This is what I go. This is just it's beautiful. It's pretty. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It is just so pretty, because of the colors of the pink, right? And I love pink. I love reds. I love color. I said it gives me such a very calming sense of feeling, vibe, a calming vibe.
Yeah.
Because at that time there wasn't that many folks out there. Usually it's very packed, crowded.
Yeah, it wasn't that day.
Because it was after the sunset, after the sun went down, and it was the last burst of color. So there wasn't people around. So it was like I said, just take the.
So I took my stuff back out. I set it up, and then I took reluctantly at first, and I took into what she said, how it made her feel, and I looked, and I took a minute, and just sat there. And I go, okay. Took it in, and then I took the picture, and I go, okay, I feel like I got what you were feeling. And then she looked at it, she goes, that's it, that's the picture. So I ended up editing it, made a clean, very nice picture, but that became one of my most popular waterfall shots ever.
Wow.
And that was a team deal, but I was totally like, if maybe I wouldn't have listened, or I was being too high on my horse about thinking I got what I needed to get. So that was kind of my first real thing where I knew that we're a team. It's not always just I'm going to go there and do what I'm going to do. Or you relax and you both enjoy it, and it actually is a better thing that way. I have more appreciation for it.
So you collaborate and you complement each other.
Yes,
that's beautiful.
Well, the other thing I heard you say, which I think is just almost like a life lesson, is that, Robert, you were sort of looking through your eyes, and Son, you were looking through your heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you kind of put those two together. Yeah.
Yes.
And had a fabulous outcome.
So that's probably why when you go to your website and you look at every picture pretty much,
Yeah.
they all have that sense. And that's what it is that makes your pictures unique. That when people look at other pictures, they're able to say,
Yeah.
that's a Chism. That's a Robert
Yeah.
Chism.
It has
That is a
both.
good,
They
that
should
is
be
good.
saying that is a so Robert Chism.
Right.
It's
Now you know.
it's the visual and the
Yeah.
the heart.
Cat's
Yeah.
out of the bag.
It's how it makes you feel
Yeah.
when you look
Yes,
at
and
that.
It is.
I learned so much from that. Like, yeah, I want to do the best that I can. Like, I felt like I'm gonna do this. This is my fault. And then I learned to say, hey, man, you know what? Chill out with all that, because you can appreciate and have a bigger experience and a better outcome. And now it's something you both can enjoy, and you're doing it together. You're going out there. So I learned early in there just to kill that ego and go and enjoy and have fun together.
And the best thing I remind Robert, because when he has wins, accomplishments, he gets into a place that shows his stuff, or he gets a gallery showing or something. He is so like he's on top of the world. I said, Robert, this is amazing. Yes, you deserve it, all the hard work, but always remain humble, because this is why people like your stuff. People want to talk with you because you're such a humble person, and it shows. People really enjoy. They get the vibe from you, and that you are very approachable. I said, never lose that, because you know what, people you do. I mean, not everybody can go out and take a picture, right? Usually now, a lot of people. There's so many people who think that they're photographers, right? Because our cell phones are amazing
Yeah.
cameras,
Yeah.
but it's the uniqueness of it. And I said, always stay humble. If someone asks questions, or especially someone who's just starting out taking photos, especially the young, right, are future scholars, right? And I said, what you could do, I know you had a passion to become an art teacher. You could always mentor someone. You could always mentor the new generation that's coming, and by inspiring them and always humbling yourself to answer their questions, take your time and show them how they could get that picture, and giving them pointers. I said, it's like your work, your vision is being passed forward, is paying it forward. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, love that. So every photographer has this, and we've kind of talked a little bit about this, has a signature way of seeing the world. How has your relationship influenced the way you notice, frame, and interpret the landscapes you photograph?
Okay. So around the time that I got my new camera, and I started getting comfortable taking pictures, and I was so excited to go to the Space Needle and take a picture with the camera. I was like, I'm gonna get a good shot of the space. So I went up there. It was kind of a rainy day, and we were up there, and I got a few shots. Just standing right there in front of it. Nothing too special. And then there was a reflection in a puddle, and I took a picture of it, just like not even thinking about it. It's just I like, oh, whatever, did it. So when we got back, we were going through the pictures, looking. And son goes, she goes, did you look at this? How you frame this, or would you look at that? And I go, no, I really didn't look at that one that much. She goes, I think this one is better than all the pictures that you took, the one in the puddle. And I go, okay. So she goes, well, let's work on the framing of that. Let's see what would come out if you edit it a little. Let's look what it. And I did that, and that picture became probably my most famous picture I've ever taken.
That's the one that the Space Needle actually commissioned you or
Yeah, I
paid you to
had
do?
for about 2 years. The Space Needle carried. I went back and did more of those pictures after that, but I did them of all the seasons of the Space Needle in the petals, reflecting, and it was because of how she saw that was a picture that I took that was unique, but brought it to me to where I could acknowledge it, and that was kind of a special moment there.
Because that
Yeah.
picture, the framing of the picture, when he took the picture, it was in a puddle, but it also reflected the season. So around it, there was the green moss, right? And so it's like when you look at the picture, yeah, it's a great reflection picture, but also you could tell that what season it was, because there was green moss, right? There was some dried leaves, that was falling around. So it it was like part of nature. You took something that was organic, right? And that it told its own story, the reflection of the Space Needle in a puddle. And it told the story of what season it was,
Pacific Northwest weather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest weather, right? Because everyone that thinks Washington just rains, that's all it does. And I said, yes, we do get some rain,
But look what
but
we
we
get.
also get the benefits of that rain,
Yeah.
And so
It's beautiful.
So that was a major thing about thinking like how we see things together now and how we complement each other. And she might see something where I'll take the picture of it, or I might have already taken the picture, and then we look through them together, and she might see something that stands out, and then we work that up, and then we go, okay, this is the one. I think this is it. But then you don't know that past us doing it. We're just looking at it. But I'm excited. She's excited. So I think, okay, let's get this out there. That really propelled me into that next range of saying, okay, you know what? That's another thing to look at now. Like when I'm out, like how I frame things. So that was because of her vision of saying that's something unique, and maybe I would look right over it.
Now since he's iconic, he loves reflection photography. So guess what? When the rainy season starts to come in, when we're out and about, he's always looking for puddles, right?
Yeah.
Puddles in the
Yeah.
street, puddles in this puddle, and so he's always been looking, and I'm like, okay, here's a puddle. So
I can't work
guess-
without a puddle.
Right? Exactly.
So it's pretty funny because it's like, and people who are walking by or something, they're like, what is this guy doing? He's
Laying in the ground and
looking at puddles to see and they're like, what is he doing? And it's like, oh my gosh, because you walk up, you're walking, you see some grown man bending over, looking, going around the angle, studying. I'm like, it would look strange, right, if you didn't know what he was trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, if he has a camera in his hand, it's going to be
Yeah.
probably a giveaway. But yeah.
And sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't have his camera out. He has his cell phone, and people, cell phone is small, so and he puts it away and he's looking, and people are like, what is this guy looking at?
A couple more life lessons there. One is to be vulnerable.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
To be able to just do something that might make you look a little foolish. And
Oh, yeah.
in the end, you get the good shot because you're willing to do that, to go the little extra mile. And maybe other people don't understand what you're doing, but in the end, it's a good outcome.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at that. I think also you're thinking about no matter what people say, no matter how people react, it doesn't really matter because you know that if you catch that moment, that it's going to pay you off or pay off in the end anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you may be laughing right now, but
but you just wait.
3 months from now when you see it on my website,
Yes.
There's been many times where I've stopped people because he's in the middle of the puddle, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Can you
Move?"
And they move. They go around because it's like he has to get that photo. And there's been many times, and I feel like this is a portion where we tag team because it's like if he's trying to get the photo, and it's like, okay, and there's a crowd or something, and people are very, gracious when they realize what he's trying to do. They're like, oh, okay, am I in the way? I'm like, he says, son, please do your thing. And so I'm like,
Move the crowd away.
keep the crowd out of the puddles, right?
The other thing that I heard when you guys were talking was the notion that somebody else looking at what you've done can see something totally new and different than what you saw, and how that can be such a gift, that different perspective. And again, being able to say that, challenge somebody, and what rises to that occasion is something even better.
Yeah.
Yes.
So true. So landscape photography often reveals beauty that people overlook. We've been talking about that. From behind the lens, where do you each find hope, whether in a natural world or your partnership or in the way others respond to your work?
do you want to take this or you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead. You can start.
Hope is, I believe that, everyone has to have hope, right? Because if you don't have hope, then there's nothing to look forward to. So when we're out and about and doing our travels and doing stuff, we're always hopeful. It's that anticipation, that giddiness, like, ooh, it's almost like a treasure hunt, right? the anticipation that what's going to be out there, because I know even it could be the worst weather, rain could be coming down sideways, and everything is just, the weather's not cooperating, right? But the anticipation is like, you know what? It's going to stop. Eventually, it's going to stop if you're patient enough. So, hope is about patience. It's about believing that, something, you're going to get something out of something, right? And just believing the fact that, it's going to occur organically, whether or not, because you can't rush time. You can't rush the weather. You can't rush, and if you have hope that at the end you will get what you need to get. It'll work out the way it should work out.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of times we plan out our road trips, right? Our seasonal road trips to our places that we like to go to. But every time it's always the weather has, it never really works out, the weather, right?
Yeah.
And we laugh, but it doesn't matter because we still enjoy our time, because we know we can always count on the weather to be unpredictable. So we plan doing other things and just to get away, And it's like, we'll have a good time regardless. And if you get some good shots, we get some good shots. If not, but every time we've ever went anywhere, there are at least one or two that we always, after how many shots you take, he always
Yeah.
gets something. So,
Yeah.
So that encompasses, like we say, hope. It is in all three of those measures of the going out and being hopeful for that, and then our relationship saying that this always puts hope into our relationship, saying, hey, we can do this together, and we're excited to do this together, and we're happy to go out and enjoy this time, and whether we get it or don't, it just creates a partnership that is excited about doing something that we both have passion for, and just feeling excited about it. And then the third is, if I do get the shot, or we're just really excited about a picture together, and we put that out, let that into the universe with us, hey, let's let it out, and people can enjoy that also. That's the last, like, that's where I'm like, oh, I'm hopeful that this is going past us, and they can feel that passion and energy, and maybe that can make someone happy, or it's a positive vibe over this whole thing. That those three, all three, and we do that enough, and we've done that a lot to where it is exciting, and you just hope that other people can feel that. Maybe they go out and take pictures or do something that inspires them too.
I love that. And I love the fact, I hadn't really thought about it. I guess it's sort of obvious, but that part of what you're doing is the spreading it. It's not obviously just for yourself, but
Right.
that it's part of the joy that you get is putting it out to the world and hoping that they also get some joy and happiness and good vibes from the picture. Yeah,
Yes.
I love that.
It's like when you think about hope, I always look at so many different things can come from hope, right? And you're talking about your partnership, which is beautiful, by the way. I think that just the fact that you talk that way and so openly, and that it shows in your work is just, it's amazing. And I think about the people who get to see it, like us, and what that sparks for us isn't necessarily just joy. I mean, it might be a memory that we needed, that may not be the spot that you took the picture, but it sparks a memory that we needed to have or we wanted to have. It might inspire us to do something that's not
Photography.
Thank you. Photography. Okay, that's what it's called. But it's not that. It's just, it's, don't be laughing at me. It's maybe something else that they're inspired to do. Maybe, I think about musicians and how often it's a scene that causes them to pick up whatever their instrument is or to sing out, So to me, there's hope in that too. It's like the inspiration of it all is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's, I think, I'm still stuck back on that. That part of your process is thinking about the joy it'll bring others.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to people that have a really hard time letting go. Like they'll create something and they put so much of themselves into it and so much time and effort, like that they don't want to let it go. It's like,
Oh yeah,
letting,
that's true.
and so I love that part of what you're talking about is actually, this is part of what you want to do. This is like your gift to the world, these beautiful pictures. Yeah.
It's my turn to go off script for a second. I
Okay.
just have a question here, and it is, I know people who are artists in their own ways, whether it's art, like drawing or whatever, music, but I notice in them often is this spark of perfectionism, like they have to do it perfectly. It has to be perfect. They can't do anything less than that. And it almost paralyzes them in their moment until they unstick themselves from it for a second.
So
Do you ever find that to be something that you deal with, and how do you deal with it? How do you get past it?
So for a long time, like you were saying, just having the confidence in what you do and just saying, hey, I'm excited about this. I'm confident that, I'm okay with it. But to let it go, there's that point where you say, hey, that's enough, or you've done your piece. You can let it go. That was really hard because of, especially during like social media and things. You're not just releasing it to your family and friends.
Yeah.
Like you're going out there, you're going to get all kind of critiques. Some people, they love natural photography, and I do a little bit more color saturation, perhaps some contrasting that might make it pop to a point to where people they're not too excited about that, and you're going to hear it from those types. But overall, I had to get to a point where Sun was just really helpful for me, because she was like, listen, you just got to trust it, man. You've done, we went out there with good intention. We had fun. You're excited about it. I'm excited about it. Let it out. And that getting over that and doing it now, it doesn't matter. People it can't please everybody. My hope is that, it would be exciting for others. It's exciting for me. I'm trying to share, but where things are, a lot of times people, going to feel some kind of way. So I don't let that into my vibe. It's not for them. It's okay.
Because there's always, people are always going to be critical, right? And I think if people knew, it's like, what's the purpose of you being critical? If it's someone's work or whatever, everyone is going to criticize or say, I don't like this, or I like this, I don't. But you have to, for me, it's hard because social media is so brash.
It'll tear you down
It'll
if you're
tear
not
you down.
ready for that. And I get it.
But
So it makes you second guess yourself.
does make me and I'm thinking, what's the purpose of the trolls that troll around? Like,
I
really?
like that.
Yeah.
It's like if like, let's go back to what our parents taught us, or grandparents. If you have nothing nice to say, why say it?
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
It's like the whole purpose of someone doing that is not a positive, it's a negative. They want you to feel low.
Yeah.
And I go, if you allow a person to have that power over you, you should never allow a person to have that power over you, because they don't have the right. You are a person that deserves respect. Everyone deserves respect,
Yeah.
and and just like with anything with art is subjective. It's the eye of the beholder. What someone thinks is beautiful, others might think it's horrible. It's the most awful thing they've ever seen, right? But it's their own unique perspective, right? So that's why I love art. I love anyone that is artistic, because you know what? Art is not for everyone, right? Depending on what's specific. And I told Robert, I go, but one thing, photographs are easy on the eye, because a lot of times people who are they going to criticize the beautiful landscape, right? Because that's actually
Mad at the tree.
mad at the tree. That's the way the tree is. So,
Hey, man, I'm sorry.
but what are they going to critique? Is like, so I tell them,
Just let it go.
and just let it go. You can't control it. You can't control nature. You can't control nature, landscaping. You can't control. That's why I think Robert loves doing landscape photography, architectural photography, but portrait photography. He is so good at portrait photography. People want him because he has a unique eye. But he says people are the worst.
It's the whole, and then not the people are bad. It's
Right.
just,
it's just
me having the confidence of like, am I gonna, this is gonna make them look bad or they're going to be unhappy with the picture. And it's real personable. It's not like a
Yeah.
tree is going to get mad at me
Yeah.
if I take that wrong angle on the tree. But
Yeah.
you do that to somebody and then you put that out and they're like,
That's
hey,
true.
man.
And people are, you could have someone who is the most beautiful person, but they can't relax enough for the camera.
Photogenic.
They're not photogenic. They might be beautiful, but when it comes to what the lens captures, they can't even relax enough for them to,
That
and
would
that,
be my job to try to help that along. So that perfectionism
yeah.
matter in that range of levels of perfectionism. I've got to a good comfortable spot with my photography with landscape, but there's other things that I'm still working on that I probably would still hold on to because of that.
Yeah. Well, we're really glad that you share it with the world because it does bring us joy to see those pictures. And I absolutely love the picture that I have in my house, and it sits over the piano, and people comment and love that picture too. So
Nice.
we're grateful that it's been out there in the world.
Cool. Thank you.
So we are going to switch gears a little bit. And the focus, as you know, and our loyal listeners know, our focus for 2025 was around thriving. So thriving in 2025. So we are going to ask that question of you also. It'll be the last time that we ask this for 2025 of our guests. So what are you doing to thrive? What have you done to thrive in 2025?
For my personal situation over everything that I've done and trying to be this year, I'm going to say it's kind of different, but learning to be vulnerable for all these things that there's lots of areas where you to be vulnerable and to be okay with it. If it allowed me to thrive and be better at my photography, maybe just as a person, and how I deal with other people and my relationships. So I felt like this year this is where I thrived, is just having more trust and being vulnerable this year more than ever because I'm more exposed to a lot of things that are going on, businesses, people, just trying to do more art, photography. So I would say that's pretty much this year, where I've let those things into my life and let them back out in a way where hopefully things are even bigger and better for the both of us.
Wow. That's nice. How about you, son?
I think this year has been an amazing year. Me and Robert always say, God, it can't get better, but it has gotten better. So this year, I think how we have thrived. I think this year we've did a lot of traveling, more traveling than we thought. That means internationally to doing our normal road trips, and spending quality time with Robert's parents, my in-laws. We kicked off the year. We went on a 2-week cruise down
Panama Canal.
the Panama Canal
Nice.
with my best friends and Robert's parents, and we had such a blast. We had amazing. Love his parents, but never had that much quality time with them because usually we get together for occasions, right?
Yeah.
Holidays, birthdays, gatherings, but not like a relaxed quality time where we're exploring, seeing new places. And we had so much fun. We laughed so hard and for so long. We had such a great time because we were experiencing the islands are
Cultures,
beautiful, different
foods.
cultures. I mean, it was just, seeing, that they were enjoying their time. We were enjoying our time. If I could tell people what I wish I knew sooner, which, when I was younger, I traveled, but you're on a budget, right? But everyone, if you ask someone that has retired, they will tell that the biggest regret is get out there, travel, go, because when you are healthy, when you are mobile, that's the key, mobile. Because a lot of people work for so long, and by the time they're ready to say, hey, I'm ready to travel, but their health might not be intact.
Yeah.
So get out there, explore your backyard. I know people that never leave the city. There's so many beautiful, amazing. I tell Robert, when we love the ocean, because you know what, when you go to the ocean, it's the most cleanest air. It's just like it's the most
So
relaxing
reset.
hearing. It's all your senses come out, from your hearing to the smells. It's just it's just something about it. It's a healing. I always say, when I'm in the mountains, when I'm out, at the water, it's just like it's a time for healing, just
Yeah.
to get back to
Like a reset.
reset. It's a reset.
Yeah.
Because when we were gone for 2 weeks on a boat, internet did not work really well. We were off the grid. And do you know, once I came back, I realized that, you know what? I don't need to check my Facebook I don't need to look at my Instagram. I completely, and Robert, it's hard for Robert because, his followers, this is part of
Yeah.
our business, right? He
Yeah.
has to be engaging. He has to, but for me, I didn't realize how tense I was every time I would see a news reel. Every time I didn't realize how tense I
What it was
was.
doing to you.
Yeah, and watching local national news, knowing I had to see what was happening in the world, and then I didn't realize it was taking a lot. It was taking a big toll on me with my positivity, my outlook on life, and so having that where I took a break, a long break, and then till now I haven't really been on
Yeah.
social media as much, and it's has did such a reset, just completely.
Yeah.
The outcome has been amazing, and I've been telling my friends and stuff like, hey, maybe put away, drop your phone, you know, be present.
Yeah.
It's so hard because everyone's on their phone. When you
Yeah.
go out to dinner,
Yeah.
it's like just let your phone down, put your phone down, appreciate the people that you're with because you can never get tomorrow back. So
So that like you said, the driving was like our family
me, yes.
resetting and being out and traveling and going places that helped us heal. And that all those things you put back into the other things we're doing and the passion we have for those other things. At the same time, we're healing and resetting,
Yeah.
and things got even better for us. What we released back out to the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this because it's so much like what we've kind of been talking about all year. But what a beautiful testimonial, son. I mean, I think it's something that we've talked about in a few of our episodes where we've talked about just taking a pause and getting away
Yeah.
from social media and everything, just like disengage for a while and see what happens, right? So thank you for saying that because, we've been saying it, but it's nice to hear that there are people who are actually
Practicing
doing
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing when you were talking that made me think about sort of this pause and being present, just the whole photography, taking the pictures makes you present, right? I was thinking about
Man.
when you're talking about crawling around on the ground looking for the puddles. It's like that you have to be in the moment. You have to be present and really taking in what's all around you. So what a great practice just in that.
That kind of there was a quote, I don't know if I'm quoting it right, but it was saying the reflection is more present than the image it's reflecting. So like where you're there at that moment with that puddle, it's
Yeah.
you're waiting for that ripple to shallow out till you get that clean reflection. And that right there, like you're saying, you are right in the moment,
Yeah.
and you're trying to negotiate that situation to where it's going to bring the life like right now for maybe something like a statue or like the space deal or something where you're really trying to make that happen. So you're like you're almost holding your breath for a second
Yeah.
for that moment, and it really does bring you right here right now. And that's the greatest feeling. Like you're just like I feel like I just like it's real to me right now. So
It's
hopefully you
like a
can feel
little
that.
vacation right there.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I love that.
Everything else stops around you.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So as we look ahead, both creatively and as a team, what new landscapes, challenges, or stories are inspiring you? And how do you envision your collaboration evolving in the future?
Nice. Ooh. Well, you want to start with that one?
For me, what I'm looking forward to is that usually when the year end starts to wrap up, I always look back for what I'm grateful for, right? What good things happen, what things that didn't happen, right? And it gives me like, these are the areas I'm going to focus a little bit more on, or this area I don't need to focus on, right? Um, I get excited for the new year just because like I said before, we think this is the best year ever. Nothing could top this.
Mm.
But you know what? Every year we say that, and every year better things happen. Whether we've traveled to somewhere we've never traveled before, or a photo that Robert wanted to get, and the weather was cooperating.
Mm.
I have such a great outlook on 2026. I reconnected with a dear friend that, we had a falling out, I would say maybe 18, 20 years ago.
Mm.
And he's my so-called godson. And it was just crazy that how a small falling out shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have gone in between from us not talking for all these years.
Yeah.
And I realized that I missed her all these years. Something that small. That's why I always tell folks that people can be petty. Just don't be petty where you cannot come back from. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, time is something that is the most valuable commodity, and that tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So always spread good karma. You
Mhm.
want good karma. You want to spread good karma.
Yes.
I tell my friends, see your parents. Even though you're busy with your life, you have kids, you do that. But you know what? Your parents, they're not going to be around forever. And you know what? They want to just spend time with you because they raised you. They want to see you become successful. You are a reflection of them. I think me and Robert, we are so connected because we lost our mothers.
Mm.
We know what loss is. And so we always say, value the people that mean the most in your life. Even if you have disagreements, pick your battles. Pick your battles. And it's okay to compromise
Mm-hmm.
when needed to, as long as it doesn't take away from your values and your principles,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Appreciate them. You don't want to have regrets. The regrets will destroy you. I always tell Robert, I said, guilt and anger takes so much out of a person's positivity, their soul, really. So be more forgiving, right? Spend time with the people you want to spend time with, and give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they had a bad day. Maybe they had the worst day of their life. Don't hold them to that moment, that one action, and be lenient.
Mm-hmm.
Have some more leniency.
Beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of grace.
Yeah.
That is, have grace.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I love
beautiful.
that. Yeah. So, on that lovely note, how can people follow you? How can they find your pictures? How do they connect with you, Robert, and receive some of this wonderful love that you are sending out into the world, both of you?
So we'll start with the Instagram. It's Robert LaSelle Chism, or Chism Photoworks for Instagram, and Robert LaSelle Chism Photoworks on Facebook. Those are my two social media sites. And then my website is chismphotoworks.com. And there you can find everything, a little bit more about me, my biography, and some of the prints that I have for sale.
And they're beautiful prints, by the way.
Thank you.
I like the and for anybody who hasn't been to the website yet, go to the website because you've actually put them in sort of categories, and I love that because if I really want to look at bridges or something, I can I can go to one spot and look at them. But then I want to get into the next one. I've seriously spent like 45 minutes on your website just the other day to see if you had anything new that maybe I needed to grab. But it's just, it's fun. It's just really fun to go on there, and every picture. Some of them I've seen before. We were lucky enough to get to go to a showing that you had in Sumner.
Oh, yes. The craft night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yes, that was great.
You had a lot of your stuff on the wall. And that was the first time I'd ever seen it displayed at that point. And then we went to the coffee place in Bonnie Lake where you have other things displayed.
Oh, yeah.
So you might want to say where your stuff is at.
Okay, that too. So beyond social media and my website, I have 14 locations around the Pacific West.
I don't think I knew that.
Yes, well, we've been working on the business side too, but there's so much support from the local businesses. I just would never imagine. But the LeMay America's Car Museum, I have a some things in there, a little setup with pictures that because I love everything. I love cars. So they have a little section in there for me. The Washington State History Museum, I have a little setup in there. The Museum of Glass, I have some setup in there. And then the Snoqualmie Falls Visitor Center and the Sailors Lodge,
Oh,
I have some setups in both of those places. So those are amongst some of the places that I have that people would probably know or could visit locally.
Yeah, those are great tourist places too. You know, I think about
Yes,
the
very
car
nice.
museum. When my nephews and my brother-in-law came up to visit several years ago, that was the only place they wanted to go. I was like,
Really,
I was like, yeah, we want to go to the car museum. I was like, okay, that's great.
yeah, it's really cool that the support and like I say, every family and friends and local businesses and all the cities. There's a lot of things, doing things with the city. Every time I'm just so grateful and I just try to be positive and do what I do, stay in my zone, and
Yeah.
not let a lot of negativity. But be positive and be excited about this opportunity and just go for it. And that's kind of where we've both been. We rely on each other for that. But just like you said, moving into this new year and hoping for more of that and just continuing that process and learning more about myself and the both of us.
Oh, it'll just get better and better. We are so thrilled that you are with us today. Oh
yeah.
my
And I was
gosh.
going to say, if anybody has last minute holiday shopping to do,
Yes.
go to one of those sites or go to the website.
Yeah, go to the website because it is like direct sales, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
wonderful. Yes. And,
Support a local artist.
he's not just a local artist anymore.
Yeah, but it's somebody in our community, right? We talk a lot
Yeah.
about how do
Yeah.
we support people in our community, and this is a way that you can do it. Spend your Christmas dollars, your holiday dollars.
Yeah.
Here, if you're local, but also if you love the Pacific Northwest, anywhere you are in the world, you can.
That's what comes to,
Yeah.
to mind for me. It's like people come to the Pacific Northwest because of the beauty and everything that we offer, and you've got it on the website. You've got pictures that show that, and so I hope people will come and see the best of what the Pacific Northwest has to offer through your photos.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you so much for
Oh.
being on the website. We'll be watching all of your success in 2026.
Yes, and you'll probably get a purchase here pretty soon. You know, what can I say?
Happy holidays.
Take care.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
If you're curious about Sun's community cats, listen to her story as she talks about what that means to her and the happy ending that there is on that story.
Yes.
It's at the very, very end of the podcast.
Wow. That was interesting. It was great having Sun with Robert. You know?
Absolutely. It really completed that picture. I did not mean for the
Get it? Picture?
yeah.
Okay.
But I loved their interaction, and I
Yeah.
loved the fact that the pictures are a summation of their collaborative process. So that was really cool.
And to watch them, I know that our listeners are not going to be able to see the actual video and all of that, but just to watch them, pinging off each other with their responses, that was really kind of nice to see. It just felt really natural. I loved it. And I loved the message. I love where they're going with it. It sounds like there's even more coming this next year, very possibly big time stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, and I love the fact that their positivity and all the sort of life lessons that they weaved in there that we can learn from the process of creativity, essentially. Yeah.
It's funny, we interviewed Robert a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
And I thought he was a very humble and open and engaging person at that point.
Yeah.
And I've had interactions with him since then, but today, watching him with Sun, you can see how that inspires the work he does. You know, it's like he stays humble, he stays open, he's very open to whatever she has to tell him.
Yeah.
And I think that collaboration is amazing. And if people go to the website, I think they're going to see what I'm talking about. It's just, his photos are beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. What a great way to end our guests for this year. What a gift to us and to our listeners.
Yeah, I feel like we really were gifted.
Yep.
Right? It's going to be a nice Christmas. Thank you, Robert and Son. So let's keep that conversation going. If you have questions or comments about the show, you can find us on all our social media channels at lifting_leaders. We have so many exceptional podcast episodes coming up with more fantastic guests in the new year. So be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. If you know someone who would find the episode inspiring, share it with them. Text them, email them, or take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram and tag us at lifting_leaders. If you'd like to know more about us, our guests, or the show, please go to our website at liftingleaderspodcast.com. You'll find our show notes there as well. If you're looking for help in developing your leaders or would like a growth opportunity yourself through leader coaching, please contact us through our website at www.liftingleaderspodcast.com. Thank you to Ari Chance Roberts for his technical support of our show. Finally, please take 30 seconds and follow us. It helps you because you never miss an episode, and it helps us because
you never miss an episode.
Yeah. To follow us, go to Lifting Leaders Podcast Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Then just tap the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner or click on follow. While you're there, if you'll be willing to give us a 5-star rating and a review and share that podcast episode with a friend, we'd be very grateful. Thank you, Crystal. What a wonderful way to end the year with our interviews.
Yeah. One more episode to go for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel great, and it's going to feel weird.
Mm-hmm.
Many thanks to you, our listeners. We are so appreciative of you. Find ways every day to lift each other up. Take good care.
Bye.
Okay, so, Son, before we let you go, your bio said something about how you have a recent passion around caring for community cats. Tell
What
us
is
a
that
little bit about that.
Okay. Well, community cat is a term for feral cats that obviously there's so many stray and feral cats in all the communities around here. So the shelter is overrun by a lot of cats and stray cats. So people are dumping cats any place in the city. And I've been feeding it started with feeding 2 feral cats that it was at my workplace on our at my work, and it backs up into a trail. So there's obviously other wildlife, raccoons, you name it, probably coyotes and so forth. So when I discovered, I'm a huge animal lover. I love cats. I have a cat. We have a cat. So I was like, who's feeding these poor tomcats? They're, ideally, I believe in, I'm sure you've heard of TNR trap, after you trap them, you get them spayed or neutered, and you release them because they will never be able to be domesticated, right? They're feral. They're true ferals. So there was 2 that I was feeding since January daily, and I live very close to work, so 7 days a week, breakfast and dinner, and sometimes in the middle of the day, I would provide treats. So that went on, and then in June, me and my coworker were coming back from doing a Target run of restocking the cat food for our resident community cats, and we heard this loud meowing. It was a kitten.
Oh, no.
Trapped in some bushes or whatever it was, and I even got other coworkers were trying to trap them. I work for a city municipality, and so I even got the police department involved. So we have an animal services unit. I never saw it. Everyone else pretty much saw it. It was a gray mama cat with her tuxedo gray kitten.
Oh.
So came back that night to check on the trap. Nothing. Couldn't hear him. I was like, or her. Then uh, the week that I was off in July, it was my birthday week. Me and Robert, we go to Cannon Beach, and I had the rest of the week off. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna have to go feed my tomcats, my community cats. And guess what? Behold, saw the mama cat and her kitten. Now the kitten is close to 6 weeks old, 7 weeks old.
Mm-hmm.
And the description, there's no way it was the same pair. So then I started feeding when they wouldn't get near me. Then the weather's changing. I'm like, I gotta do something. Trying to work with our local shelter. They were max capacity. They will not take ferals, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna feed them, and when when they're able to, I will trap and at least get her. But I was hoping to get him since he was a kitten, and you could rehab them, and be adoptable.
Mm-hmm.
So let's fast forward it. So for almost 4 months, here I'm feeding this cat and this kitten. No longer really a small kitten. He's now close to 6 months old. Still scared of me, but I have a certain whistle, certain meow, and they come running. A month, about 6 weeks, 2 months prior, she has pushed him away because she's pregnant again. Because in 6 months, she got pregnant again. So I'm thinking, okay, she's trying to push him away because she's going to, give birth. So she doesn't want him around in case, she's focusing on her new litter. So here I am. And week before me and Robert we're leaving for Hawaii for 8 days, he decides, finally, the kitten comes up to me. And I'm thinking, this is kind of weird. He ends up bumping his nose on my hand. And I'm like, this is strange. And then
That was it.
fast forward, then he let me pet him. And then I was panicked. I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? The rain's coming. So I thought, and I was, working with my, police department, our animal service unit. They're saying, well, if you could get him in a carrier, she contacted the shelter and they said that they would take him in this case because it's still a young cat. And it didn't work because he freaked out. And so the last day before I had to go, he started coming around again and letting me pet him. I'm like, well, you gotta hold on. You just gotta hold on until I get back. So with my coworkers, I had probably 4 coworkers taking turns feeding and so forth. So when I returned the beginning of November, set the trap out less than an hour. Guess who we trapped? We trapped the mama, not the kitten.
Oh, that's
So, but
good.
she had a new litter of, I believe they were probably 5 weeks old, so they still could eat on her own. But we were like, oh my gosh, we got to trap the kittens. We got to trap him. So a few days later, I trapped him and got, my gray tuxedo cat, and he is part of the family now. Yeah, he's part of the family. And we trapped her. There was one kitten that survived being alone for 2 weeks because it didn't have Big Brother around and it didn't have the mama.
Yeah.
So we trapped him, and my coworker took her.
Oh.
So, and last Friday, she was at the shelter for 2 weeks. We were able to bring her back and release her back, and she is still hanging around. I'm feeding her. I'll continue to feed her until she moves on, if she moves on. So
You're
that's
such
my
a
passion
pushover.
That's the story. That's the story of the community cat.
That's wonderful. Thanks for
All right,
telling
thank
us
you.
that.
All right.